Right, race is starting in 3 seconds. Right, so we have Color Theory's audio on. Currently, the winners of all of the races have been Color Theory or Moon Cues. And they're up at the top. And My Two Dogs is just now starting his game, so he's just a few moments behind. So the main difficulty in this game is that you don't really get much health back until you end a stage. So any minor mistake you make early on kind of compounds over time. It fixes that a little bit with its experience bar, but once you level up, your experience bar fills all the way up, and your health bar increases, you don't get that extra health until you've beaten a stage or you die. So in a race setting, that can be pretty stressful because you're trying to go fast, but generally you want to play it safe and keep your health high for the boss fight. So it looks like Color Theory and Moon Cues have both defeated the first boss. No Diggity has just defeated the first boss. And My Two Dogs was a little bit behind getting started, but he's basically on pace with everyone else. Now everyone has been able to make it to stage 2. This is the first major roadblock. There's a few sections where these invincible gray orbs will move up and down, and you can attack them, but they just move back just a moment. Other than that, the only thing that's really going to kill you is the final boss here. And he's very easy to defeat if you play him slowly, but jumping back and forth and swinging at him with the overhead swing requires really good spacing, because he can actually outrange you. And it looks like Perktown and Herzog have both been able to kill him. Color Theory unfortunately dies to that boss. It's very difficult to do that back and forth swing. It is faster, but difficult. Moon Cue's also moving to stage 3. So No Diggity, Color Theory, and My Two Dogs both on stage 2. No Diggity just getting to the boss. So No Diggity is not doing the overhead swing, so this Steel Knight blocks several of your attacks if you're not doing the overhead swing. So this is going to make the fight a little bit harder for No Diggity. And it looks like My Two Dogs died, and it's going to have to do stage 2 as well. And same with No Diggity, so they are a little bit behind now. Perktown just getting to the Steel Knight in level 3. It's kind of like a boss rush of the previous bosses. Moon Cue's tearing through stage 3, just beat the Steel Knight again. Now he's against the stage 1 boss. So I have to say, I'm incredibly surprised by how quickly all of these players are able to go through these stages after only an hour of practice. Watching them practice, very few of them actually looked like they were going to fly through this stage. So Perktown unfortunately dying to the hailstorm from the first boss on his repeat. Herzog is doing okay against him. He just managed to kill the Red Wizard. He's lost about a third of his health bar though. If he speeds it up, he might be able to pass up Moon Cues, who is currently fighting the last boss. But this Axe Knight, if you don't have the second level up, your health bar is not going to be very, very full by the time you get to him. So you have to take him very slowly. So if Herzog is very, very aggressive, he might be able to pass up Mooncuse. And Mooncuse did it. With 1 health bar remaining, he was actually able to defeat the boss. That was incredibly fast. With 4 minutes and 43 seconds, he was able to complete the goal. That was twice as fast as I expected anybody to be able to get this goal. My Two Dogs now on stage 3. No Diggity having a little bit of trouble with this Steel Knight. He's still not doing the overhead swing. And he's not trading either. So this is going to cause him some trouble. You can beat him just using that forward swing, but it's a lot more difficult without using the overhead swing. So Perktown is now at the boss, but very low health. The pattern that the Axe Knight is doing, where he's shooting that attack forward, that's what you want in a speedrun setting. But he is completely RNG. He can just decide to do that lob attack, and if you jump over what you expect to be a straightforward attack, it'll hit you. And Perktown got pretty lucky with that sequence, but he took advantage of it, and he should now be in second place. He just needs to type .done. 6 minutes and 17 seconds, so not too much farther behind Mooncuse. That is very fast from Perktown. So Herzog was moving very quickly, but it looks like he's having some trouble with stage 3. So both Perktown and My Two Dogs came in late to the practice, so they're doing very well. So No Diggity having a little bit of trouble here. Color Theory just defeated the Axe Knight, so he is coming in at 3rd place at 652. So let's switch the audio. Let's go down to Herzog. So let's go to My Two Dogs down the bottom left. His audio seems a little bit quiet, so we're going to go to No Diggity. I'm just kind of moving through the runners, trying to find a runner still playing that has good audio. No Diggity always has great audio on the stream, so I'm really appreciative of him running the playing in the events.
Come on.
So No Diggity is having a little bit of trouble with stage 2, but one of the advantages of stage 2 is that it has a lot of enemies that are very quick to kill. And so your experience bar fills up. So if he makes it to stage 3,
What?
he's not going to be any
What
farther
on earth is
behind
going
than
on?
any of the other players. So now I saw him do 1 overhead swing. There it is. Just a few more of those, and he will go through this Steel Knight very quickly. So one of the, there it is. So he has defeated the Steel Knight. He is now on stage 3, and he's basically on par with My Two Dogs and Herzog, although Herzog is at the final boss. And Mooncuse is giving us a Reese's advertisement. So if Herzog fails to defeat this boss, No Diggity is actually going to be ahead of him. 1 HP left on the boss, and Herzog's done it. He has moved into 4th place.
Now we get RoboCop. 'Cause why not? Oh, come on!
So it's very difficult to fight that Steel Knight in a straight up fight because he outranges you by like 4 or 5 pixels, which is a lot in an NES game.
Gonna do 3 fires in a row and then charge me. Cool, why not? Let's do that. Let's do that too.
So My Two Dogs and No Diggity are both very close to each other. They're fighting the same enemy.
That worked every single time until that one. Oh, this game's pissing me off. Again, he's
so No Diggity really needs to start implementing that overhead swing.
The previous level.
Let's see if I can switch this to
There's no motivation to come after me. This one, he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna get all up in your business. Why not? Should I kill him? I'll take that. Should I? Let's do that. Come on! Oh, Jesus. Grr. Sure. Sure, I only need 2 health. Let's do the rest on 2 health.
So 2 health is going to be very difficult to finish the stage with, but if he's able to fill up that EXP bar, then his health bar is going to increase. Unlikely it's going to happen on the Steel Knight. There it is, that overhead swing.
Come on.
So My Two Dogs is a little bit behind, but he does have that extra health. He was able to fill up his health bar and then he died.
Thanks, Herzog.
So while he is just a few moments behind No Diggity, he has way more health to work with.
All the good patterns that I had before are just gone. Should I not?
So something I found when I was playing this that it doesn't seem that any of the runners actually found it. That jump kicking dragon lizard, which is a really weird enemy to have in this game, if you crouch and attack, his jump attack won't hit you and you'll hit him. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I found that somewhat at random. So My Two Dogs, he's got a little over half his health left, and he's up against the Steel Knight. The Steel Knight is the big wall for this stage. If you can get past the Steel Knight with a lot of health, you should be able to safely and slowly take out the Red Wizard, and with enough health, you can brute force the final boss. You saw Mooncuse, you saw Herzog, both end with very low health, and they were basically just trading hits and jumping over his projectile, and just kind of hoping that things would work out. But with enough health, they will. So My Two Dogs is not taking this Red Wizard slowly. It looks like he's, rather than blocking and counterattacking, he is trying to jump directly into the wizard, which is very difficult to do successfully. He's only got 3 bits of health left.
Yay. And the bat hits me. This guy. Why don't you spawn on top of me? There you go. That seems like...
So they are neck and neck right now. Ultimately, this is going to come down to whoever is able to save enough health after the Steel Knight. The first person to figure out that fight is going to win the race between these two. It looks like My Two Dogs is a little bit faster in fighting some of the enemies,
Now you're gonna get backed in the corner and
but but not by much. One of the annoying things about this game is that enemies can walk off screen and be out of your range, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to walk to the left and then let them approach.
Yes, of course. Back me into the corner, and then I'll have no room to maneuver, and then...
So my two dogs, again, about half health defeating the Steel Knight. This is kind of par for the course for him. This should be enough health with his health upgrades. If he takes this Red Wizard slowly, and he blocks these attacks or dodges them, then he should have more than enough health. Although the brute force here seems to be working out for my two dogs. He's got half health, and he's on the path to the end boss. So this is the first time someone's ever switched to the wizard, as far as I know. The wizard isn't that useful for this goal that we have, but in the actual speedrun, it's incredibly useful because you get a charge attack. There's like two spells. You get a fire and a lightning, and the lightning spell does a serious amount of damage.
There's no point.
Alright, that overhead swing is working wonders.
No.
So No Diggity has a little bit below half health. So about a quarter health.
This guy's gonna like spawn on top of me because he likes doing that.
So it looks like No Diggity has a strategy against this Red Wizard that's a bit better than what My Two Dogs has, as far as not taking damage.
5 hit points.
Although he gets caught out of his jump sometimes. You have to basically stay grounded against the Red Wizard, so that way when he spawns, you're able to get one hit in, and then you can either jump over his projectile or block the overhead projectile. There's a very small gap. There's a very small gap that you can jump between in the center of his overhead rain attack, but it's pretty tight to get through. I wouldn't recommend it for a race like this. So No Diggity now at the final boss. This is a very difficult boss to defeat with low health, because most of the time you're going to be trading
kind of
hits.
Interesting.
The best strategy that I found for consistency against him was moving all the way to the left side of the screen and giving him a lot of real estate to work with, and then just jumping and doing overhead attacks repeatedly, over and over again. It just gave me a lot of space to work with.
Really quite interesting as a maneuver.
So My Two Dogs, about a quarter health. He's got 4 bars, 2 bars now. So back to square one for My Two Dogs. This is a very difficult game. I know Mooncues just destroyed it, and others weren't too far behind, but this actually is a incredibly difficult game.
He's all about the overhead. You gotta back him off. This dude didn't eat so much health every single time I go through here. I'd have a shot at this.
No Diggity is absolutely correct. If you can get past the Steel Knight and have a lot of health, then the rest of the stage
Like, oh,
should
by
be
the way,
cake.
I'm just gonna... Thank you.
So this is where the skill set for a learn fast race really comes in, is when you come up against these walls. So both players have had some trouble in this stage, and it looks like My Two Dogs has adapted a strategy against the Steel Knight. I don't know if he's adapted it against the Red Wizard yet,
Just kill me.
but he's got plenty of health here. If he's able to slow down and block,
We're gonna continue that.
so I'm not sure if My Two Dogs knows that you can block those attacks, but it doesn't seem like it'll matter. He has over half health leaving that Red Wizard, and he's got, I think, 2 health drops before the fight.
Come on. Nope, he's decided that I figured him out, so flame on. Flame on.
So for those of you watching, each week we're doing a different race, and we cycle between a very difficult game, a game you have to focus on routing. So it's a unique game with an unusual or unknown goal. Maybe just no one has played the game. And you have to figure out how to do it as quickly as possible, and you can't just watch a speedrun video and copy it. And the third type of game we do is a well-known game with somewhat of a twist. The first one we did was Super Mario Bros. 1, and you had to beat a certain stage with a certain number of points.
I find it funny that my timer.
This is the hard game. So next week the game will be a little bit easier, but require a bit more thought about what your actions will be. So the good news for both My Two Dogs and for No Diggity is that even though they're both having trouble with this, as their EXP bar fills up, they're going to get more and more health. So this is going to become easier over time for both of them. It won't allow them to win the race, but it will allow them to finish.
It's ridiculous. Because all I end up doing is trading hits with him.
Yeah, No Diggity using that regular attack, you will trade hits with that Steel Knight if you're not doing the overhead attack. I find it a little interesting that they're both having difficulty with the opposite bosses. No Diggity has been defeating the Red Wizard most of the time without losing too much health, while My Two Dogs has taken more damage from him, but My Two Dogs can go through the Steel Knight without an issue.
Come on, Dino. Seriously? Alright, kill me. Kill me. Do it. Kill me. Come on, dude.
So I don't know if I agree with No Diggity's strategy of letting the enemy kill him, unless his EXP bar filled up and I didn't notice it. So My Two Dogs at the boss, but again, not enough health to do it. And unfortunately, how these goals are set up is that at the end of the hour, you might have completed the goal, but if so, most of the time it's going to be just barely. So no one has very much experience at the end of the race. There's a few people that can fly through the first few stages, but then everyone kind of slows down towards the end.
This is about to be not PvP.
So neither No Diggity or My Two Dogs has much in the way of experience with the end boss. So it's very much going to be a learn fast situation for both of them.
Sure. Alright, Robocop, kill me. It's gonna happen. Use shield, get hit. Die. Repeat.
Using the shield and getting hit is definitely something that happens in this game. There's a short delay before your shield comes up. And another downside that I've seen is that some attacks, like that wizard forward attack, you crouch to block that. But other attacks that are straightforward, you would hold up to attack. So No Diggity's experience bar is almost full. So he's going to have much more health the next time he goes through. He didn't lose that much against the lizard, so he's going to have, I think, twice as much as he lost extra. Which means it would basically be like he defeated that lizard with full health at this point.
Cool. Come on.
So the Steel Knight, if you hold down up, you can block his attack, and then you do a jumping slash, the overhead attack, and it'll work 100% of the time, but you have to space the upwards block, because he does have a lower attack. The lower attack is a little bit less range though, so as long as you're spaced properly, he won't hit you.
I was actually getting some looks.
So My Two Dogs is doing very well with the overhead swings. He's just jumping in and out. He's doing very well with spacing. He's actually doing that better than most of the other players that have already finished the race. And might as well have full health at this point. Unfortunately, My Two Dogs is not a fan of using his shield. I don't know if he even knows the shield is a thing. Alright, so No Diggity lost a lot of health, but because his health bar has increased so much, he's actually got as much as your first original health bar, I believe.
What is that crap?
The Red Wizard can spawn inside you, and it is incredibly frustrating when it happens.
And I got hit when he was dying too.
That was
That's
pretty trolly.
awesome.
I will say that. That was just that was just not good. Alright, My Two Dogs now using his shield against the... Got the enemy down to almost a fourth of his health left. So I think My Two Dogs is definitely going to get it. Once he fills up this EXP bar, that alone would have given him enough health to be able to take out that boss without too much issue. So No Diggity now at the boss. Not using the overhead swing. If you don't use the overhead swing against this boss, you're going to have a lot of trouble.
Cool.
So My Two Dogs deliberately taking a death. He filled up his EXP bar and he wants that extra health. So No Diggity has made a habit of kind of pushing enemies to the edge, which
Come on, Dino. Let's do a little
is
bit.
not the best strategy against most enemies,
Crap.
because they can still move forward and hit you kind of
Up and down. It's
out of nowhere, but you are not able to hit them. Their hitbox is out of range of your sword, and you can't move close enough to hit them. My Two Dogs with a very quick kill on the Lizard Soldier. If No Diggity figures out that he can use the overhead swing on this Steel Knight with jump attacks,
Hey, Rachel, how's it going?
he will probably beat that round.
I'm getting wrecked.
My Two Dogs, 3/4 of his health bar completely full. Now this is the Red Wizard. This is where My Two Dogs loses a lot of health.
Oh, come on.
He does not block the overhead shots. He just kind of tanks the hit, which I wouldn't suggest. But he's got enough health now to where it's not going to be that big of a detriment, especially if he picks up all of the health drops. Okay, No
Well,
Diggity
it's
figuring
happening
out
right
the
now.
crouch attack.
Here's RoboCop, ready to wreck my day.
It is very difficult to kill that boss without the overhead swing. I was personally in No Diggity's position when I was learning this game to see if it was appropriate for a race game. I was using that regular attack, and I was having just as much trouble as No Diggity. My Two Dogs unfortunately dying to the
Another
final
bats gonna
boss.
hit me again, too. Cool.
But each time they go through this and fail, they're going to get more experience, and they're going to fill up their health bar. So eventually they will be able to just brute force their way through this, even if they don't change their strategy at all. But the question is going to be, who's going to
Why
do
does he
this
get
first?
3 cycles, and other times he get 2 cycles, and then other times he just spawns on top of me and kills me, and...
So not much health for No Diggity, but he does have his experience bar half full. I think he's ahead of My Two Dogs as far as experience goes. Okay, No Diggity kind of had the right idea, doing the overhead swing on the boss.
It's as good as a swear at this point.
So this situation that we're in that was a really fast kill on the Lizard Knight by No Diggity. So this situation that we're in right now is exactly the kind of situation that these game choices are meant to create. So the Steel Knight, if you do a crouching attack, he will always jump backwards, and his regular attack will outrange you. A safe but slow way of killing the Steel Knight is to just hold up and wait for him to do a standing attack on your shield, and then you jump forward and do an overhead swing. It's very slow compared to the My Two Dogs strat of just jumping back and forth, doing an overhead swing and spacing it, but you take no damage from the Steel Knight. This is not something I would expect most people to find out in an hour. So No Diggity has a really good strategy against the Red Wizard. Took it a little fast and loose there, but I think he just wanted to take him out. Fill up his EXP bar. I think he knows if his health is low, he just kind of loses his defense a little bit. So one more hit on the Lizard Knight. My Two Dogs with not too much health and getting a very bad pattern from the Axe Knight. That was the worst possible pattern you could get. No Diggity is brute forcing his way through. Took about half health. If he's able to get there with more health, that strategy actually works against that knight. Just moving to the left and then just kind of walking forward and attacking overhead. And more health is guaranteed for No Diggity once he fills up his EXP bar, which he is very close to doing. Much closer than My Two Dogs, actually. My Two Dogs had, I think he was like 15-20 seconds behind starting the race. Yeah, he didn't have as much time to practice as some of the other racers. And he started just a little bit late. So No Diggity, you can tell he's frustrated, especially against the Steel Knight, but if you look at his health, when he reaches the Steel Knight compared to what it was originally, he's learned the patterns of the other enemies very well. Okay, so now he's being patient. Well, not that patient. One more hit.
Cool.
Okay.
And then the bats.
So the bats don't actually do that much damage, especially the ones that drop the health, relatively speaking. So he needs to take this wizard very slowly. And hope he doesn't spawn inside him. Block.
Spawn on top of me, why don't you?
Ah, one health bar left on that wizard. So My Two Dogs with only one health on this boss. He is trying to play it very safe. And he blocks a shot. I thought he was going to die for sure there. Oh, My Two Dogs had a very good strategy for a low health play against that boss. I really thought he was going to finish it out there. It's very difficult to dodge the lob shot. It looks like he's blocking. It looks like the Axe Knight is doing his crouch block, but he actually just kind of shoots that little teardrop projectile in an arc, and it's at just the right timing to where you think nothing is happening and you want to come in and attack. But if you move, stop blocking, or jump at all, you're going to run directly into the arc of that projectile. So No Diggity is not giving himself much space to work with. He needs to move farther to the left so that way he can counterattack. And he's not quite waiting for the attack.
because for some reason he just knocks down a bajillion hit points from me. Every time I fight him, he decides that he's gonna, for every hit point I get, he takes 2.
Alright, the EXP bar has filled up, so the next death that No Diggity has is going to give him way more health than he's had in the past.
This idiot.
Although my two dogs seem to have figured out the final boss. I don't know if it's going to work out for him because his health is pretty low right now. And his EXP bar has filled up, so
Yeah,
now it's...
I can't deal with him unless I've got distance.
Yeah, my two dogs, he's behind No Diggity right now, but I think he's actually going to end up being ahead of him because No Diggity will likely take a death. So with only 3 health, it's unlikely... Yeah, it's unlikely that my two dogs will be able to defeat that boss. They're both tied right now. No Diggity has maybe 4 seconds head start. And that's probably going to be the last time the experience bar fills up. So No Diggity is kind of hurting his ability to damage the enemy.
Charge there. This entire... Now you do it.
So No Diggity took a lot of damage there, and most of that came from having the enemy off screen. So right now, where he's just kind of
that entire
attacking at the enemy off screen,
sequence was just flame.
It becomes very difficult to damage the enemy. You know, both at the Steel Knight, my two dogs able to get here with much more health than No Diggity. No Diggity had a pretty bad pattern from the lizard, but most of that came from pushing the lizard to the edge. My two dogs very quickly dispatching the Steel Knight, 3/4 of his very large health bar. And now this is going to come down to the pattern that the Red Wizard gives him.
Then the troll bats.
So unfortunately my two dogs hasn't figured out that you can hold up to block that attack yet. I know he knows how to block because he'll crouch block the final boss's attacks. Okay, my two dogs backing up to give himself some space.
There are 3 attacks there.
A little bit ahead of No Diggity right now. Neither of them have the health that they want right now, so this might loop back again. Alright, my two dogs playing it very slow, and he's waiting for that specific forward attack. He wants to jump over and do an overhead swing. His spacing is just a little bit off. No Diggity has not figured out that pattern yet, and he doesn't have enough health to do the brute force strat that he was doing before. Okay, so No Diggity was practicing blocking, which actually is not a bad strategy. And it's looping around at least one more time.
On this one. This one is really getting on my nerves. Jeez, yeah, go ahead and jump around a little bit. Come on. Cool, RoboCop.
So No Diggity having a little bit of trouble with the Steel Knight. Using the regular attack is not working out for him. So he has given himself more space to work with. Okay, so he blocked it. Now he's trading hits.
Come on!
So he's not being quite patient enough.
Great.
So when you're blocking from the Steel Knight, if you just hold up and stand still, he cannot hit you. He actually spaces perfectly for you. So he will stand there and either attack your shield or just attack the air. But that is not something that's very easy to figure out. And you feel the urge to kind of move forward. But if you move forward even a pixel, his downward attack is going to hit you. And No Diggity there was blocking, but he started his sword swing, which turns off the shield.
The spawn point on that is absolutely ridiculous. And the amount of damage that he does to you, because you have...
My Two Dogs has a lot of health, and he's now against the Axe Knight.
Thanks, Bat.
It looks like he's got the pattern down. And that's it. My Two Dogs has now finished. This is a very long race for My Two Dogs. So My Two Dogs got 5th place, and it was a very long race for him, but this is a incredibly difficult game. Like, this actually might be the most difficult. I know some people thought Holy Diver was difficult, but this one doesn't allow you to brute force through quite the same way, and it's not necessarily intuitive like a platformer would be. It's like what...
I tried to take the slow route, and then all of a sudden he just starts wrecking me, so...
What you would expect in this game isn't necessarily always the best strategy. So right now where No Diggity is kind of jumping and cornering the enemy, not necessarily the best strategy, even though it is very intuitive. I personally did the exact same thing No Diggity is doing, and it works. And so it kind of lulls you into a false sense of security, because what ends up happening...
Oh, geez, yeah, let's get the overhead shot. Because why not?
What ends up happening is you end up killing him, but you lose so much health in doing so that it's almost like you didn't kill him at all. And it works in stage 2, so you kind of almost get trained to do the fight poorly, because you defeat the boss and you beat the stage. You say, this is what I did last time, it worked.
You're gonna do like 12,000 flame breaths, you know? Why not?
So No Diggity really only has 2 obstacles left. It's the Steel Knight and the Axe Boss. But if No Diggity doesn't try a new strategy against the Steel Knight, he's going to basically be rolling the dice each time he fights him.
I don't care. Straight it.
Eventually it'll work out for him, because he's going to keep getting more health as his experience bar fills up.
And the bat frickin' trolls me. Again. Cool.
That was a troll spawn.
I just love how that dude just spawns right where you're standing. He's just like, oh, by the way, screw you.
So that is something I had trouble with as well when I was learning this game. I wasn't quite sure how his spawns work, and I'm still not. Oh, I didn't know you could block that flame by crouching. Yeah, so when I am picking games, to do for this,
over him?
my goal is always to see if I can beat the game, or beat the goal in an hour without any experience with the game. And that's like the first step I have. And I also look for things like infinite continues or good checkpoints, and any built-in system that can really help out. It's difficult to find those things in NES games though, because most of them are built on starting you from scratch.
Why not?
So these races are entirely open to the public. Anyone can join, any number of people can join. If you type !learn fast in the chat, you will get a link to a Discord. And all you have to do is be on the Discord and type .join when the race is up, and then you're in the race.
Yeah, seriously, the spawn of this guy is ridiculously unfair. So, by the way,
Whoa.
By the way, you thought you had some health? No, you don't have any
So this is definitely causing some trouble for No Diggity. But again, this is a game that gets easier over time, not just because you learn how the enemies react and are able to kill them without taking as much damage once you learn their pattern, but once that EXP bar fills up, you gain a sizable amount of health. And it looks like he is one tick away from increasing his health one more time.
This guy is really getting on my nerves. Along with Mr. I'm going to spawn on top of your hitbox.
If anyone is more familiar with this game, I would be really interested to know how that red wizard spawns, because I did have trouble with him spawning on top of me too, and I'm not sure how you can fix it. Alright, so that EXP bar is now filled up.
Sure, Bats. Let's hit me a few more times. Alright.
So there's even more health for him once he dies another time. Although he has enough health.
Yes, of course. Spawn exactly where I'm standing.
So it looks like No Diggity's getting a little bit frustrated here.
Yeah, let's do
So
that.
he was
Exactly that.
he wasn't playing that fight quite as slow as he did in the past. But he has even more health than he did before. And the EXP bar fills up. I think your health bar can fill all the way to the little magic symbol on the right.
Come on. Walk in.
So No Diggity is playing this a bit slower, and it's working out a bit more for him. That was about as perfect a fight as we've seen so far. And I know he doesn't want to jump into those bats, but the health drops, I believe, are set. So jumping into it is better than not hitting it at all. Good reaction time from No Diggity. He was able to block that attack. Now, one of the things about the Red Wizard is that if you're behind him, then he cannot do the low attack, which means you only have to block up.
Come on.
So No Diggity does have a lot of health. He's got just a little bit more left. Now here comes the Axe Knight. So he needs to give him some space. Here we go. Just back up all the way to the left there. That was incredibly close. Less than half health on the boss.
Hooray! Let's do it again.
So Gracie, this is a race called Learn Fast. We do this every week. It's a random game that most people have not played before. Everyone has 1 hour to practice it, and then after that hour, you go through the goal. The goal is very rarely going to be something like full game. Most of the time it's like stage 2, stage 3. And we call it a Learn Fast race.
Here.
But we're not. It's very casual, kind of low key. We're not too concerned about placements. We do keep track of everyone's records, but it's more about getting people involved, getting people introduced to new games, finding other people, and it's a very unique take on running, because most people don't have time to devote multiple hours to learning a game. and then participating in a race, especially popular games like Zelda or Mario. But if you put a twist on it or use an unknown game, then you're able to test a new skill set. So No Diggity with half his health bar, which is a very large health bar right now. Okay, wrong block there. He was blocking lower.
Cool. Yay.
Okay. So he took more damage than he normally does there, which is unfortunate.
There's things like eating my inputs. I don't feel like it's actually registering when I press up and... You're gonna jump a little bit? Yeah. Sure, you might as well kill me now. Oh no, two hit points. That's perfect. That'll work.
So frustration is definitely an enemy here. It is possible to beat this boss without getting hit, but even in a speedrun setting, it's unlikely.
That's plenty.
And I know No Diggity is getting frustrated, but we should note that he wasn't getting to the boss earlier, and now he's getting to the boss consistently. So he's going to be learning this pattern more and more, and pretty soon he's going to be getting there with like a third to half his health bar. And Stevie Steven, currently it is only NES games for the rest of 2018. I do want to add Super Nintendo games and PC games, especially indie games. I'm looking into the possibility of getting a collection of keys and giving them out to people. But for now, it's just NES games. It's very accessible. Most people have a power pack for the NES or a computer that has NES ROMs on it. But 2019, we have a lot of different events planned. So if you're interested, type !learn fast and join the Discord. There's no entry fee. Currently, there's no prizes or ranking or anything like that. You just get bragging rights, and you just get a casual race every Sunday. We do this. We do the reveal at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the game actually starts at 10 p.m.
Come on.
So No Diggity has suddenly flipped a switch, and he is approaching this fight in a far different manner. He's got well over half his health right now. If he's able to get through the Red Wizard without losing very much health, then he might just be able to brute force the Axe Knight. Very good, very safe play. So he's behind him, which is great.
Sure, spawn there. That's a great place for you to spawn.
Missed one block.
That's a great place for you to spawn. How about spawning right where I was standing?
Okay, so a lot of health left on the table for No Diggity. This is the most health he's had going into the boss. And once you do this once, you kind of know how to do it again. So I imagine even if No Diggity doesn't make it this time, he's going to be getting very close to the same amount of health each time. He lost more health than he should have on that Green Lizard Knight.
Are you not registering my up? Clearly not.
Alright, so this is one boss you cannot push the edge like that. You can't reach him when he's off to the side, and he can reach you. So you need to move to the left. Give him some space. So he could have had him there, but he pushed him.
One more attempt here. Maybe two, depending on how much time it's going to take.
Alright, so you guys need to spirit bomb him.
Not going to get any hits on this guy now. come on.
So this jumping back and forth is very difficult. Especially if you're not using the overhead swing, which I'm still not sure why he's not using that one. Because the Steel Knight can't block the overhead swing. The Steel Knight does do a lot of damage. The EXP bar is almost full, which means even more health.
Cool. Why are you not registering my up presses? This is really the most frustrating part of it all here. It's not registering my up presses consistently.
So there is a delay between pressing up and getting the block. It's not like crouch, which is near instant.
Shit, let's jump into fire, shall we? That's
So if he kills, I think, 1 or 2 more enemies, depending on how much experience they give, then that's going to be a large increase in health. This is a very good pattern for No Diggity. He's still pushing him a little too far to the right. It's about 3/4 of his health bar, give or take. And that's with the extra health bonus.
Don't spawn on top of me, dude.
Alright, he's taking it very slow. Oh, he missed a health drop, which isn't good, but it's only 1 block of health. The projectiles from the Axe Knight take 2. Okay, got the cheese kill on the Lizard Knight, got an extra health drop. So this is a lot of health going to the Axe Knight. If he just moves all the way to the left side of the screen,
Come on.
then he will get this.
Come on! Are you flippin' kidding me?
Very close again.
This will be my last attempt. After this, I am saying F this game, etc., etc.
I'm giving him a don't give up cheer. The dinosaur does give a human grunt when he dies.
Off of my lawn, dude.
Okay, so a little less health than he had last time. He's not going to be able to beat the Axe Knight if he pushes him all the way to the right.
Sweet. Grr. first of all, again, like, let's accept my inputs. No, we don't need my inputs. Let's just eat them. They're very tasty. Cool. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I'm just getting very, very frustrated with this. Clearly.
This is a very frustrating game. We all want No Diggity to finish, though. Alright, Axe Knight.
Come on. Apparently, that's, yeah. That's the quick path to getting myself killed. That's good. It's a quick kill.
So this is a very frustrating situation to be in when you run into a brick wall like this in a game. And most races are going to have something like this. The races are not set up to where someone could just join and casually win. So there's always going to be at least something to overcome. So dealing with frustration is going to be kind of a habit that players are going to have to get used to. But this game in particular can appear very frustrating because the amount of health that enemies do, it's not necessarily apparent when you look at them. The bats only do 1 health, and the Axe Knight projectiles, I think they do 2, but the Steel Knight does a lot.
There's your quick kill.
Well, No Diggity got a very fast quick kill on the mage boss. That's actually what the speed run does. I very rarely got that to work. You just had to be so far to the right that you could just keep tapping them off screen. Okay, near perfect so far. Taken very little damage. Getting all the health drops. Experience bar is halfway full.
Diddly.
So now the question is, can he get
What is
through
going
this
on
guy?
here?
There you go. Alright, he needs more space. Gotta move to the left. If he crowds him on the right, this will not work. Close. He can get this. So Ever now is rooting for No Diggity. He's had some trouble in the past races. Skull and Crossbones was the second to last race we did, and he got to the very last boss and was very close to killing him, and he ran out of weapons, which means you can only use the punch attack, which is very weak and leaves you vulnerable, and he ended up running out of lives right at the very end, which is a very frustrating thing. And so this this fortunately has infinite lives, which means you can continue forever, and the experience helps quite a bit. So he's changed his strategy on the Steel Knight, still not doing the safe strat or the overhead swing for some reason. He saw how well it works on the Axe Knight. So no quick kill this time. So at this point, when you're missing that much health, you want to focus on getting the experience bar filled
I
up.
think I discovered a quick kill on the other guy. If I can get on the far right side.
And No Diggity actually did discover the speedrun quick kill.
Thanks. I didn't need that either. Sure, charge in. Why not? I think I need some cocaine in my life is what I think I need. But I don't do that stuff. According to Rick James, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yeah, I didn't need that health either.
So not enough health to be able to beat the boss, I don't think. But he might be able to fill up this experience bar if he gets to the boss.
Yeah, I anticipated him spawning in my hitbox and...
So when I was practicing this, I found myself getting in some frustrating situations where I would take just a little bit of damage at the beginning that I wasn't used to, and my play would deteriorate for the rest of the stage because I just kind of assumed that I couldn't do it.
Yeah, upswing doesn't do anything for me here with this guy.
Alright, so one or two more enemies will fill up that experience bar.
That was really unhelpful.
Okay, you gotta take this guy slow.
Thank you so much.
Didn't quite get it.
Oh, come on. Great. Got that cycle. That's great. Let's have some fun with this guy. This is so much fun. So much fun. Basically, to get that quick kill, you basically have to be on the very, very, very farthest right of the screen.
Yes, that is correct, No Diggity.
To pick him up when he appears. Nightmares? Yeah, you bet. on, buddy. Yeah, he basically just starts juggling me. I get into a pattern where I jump, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, by the way, there's half your health bar. Because why not? Dude, thanks for spawning right there. Oh, thanks for spawning right there. Thanks for spawning right there. That was really great.
Alright, he's doing the overhead swing now, which is unblockable for the Steel Knight. So he's doing some serious damage without taking damage in return. So I think now that he has that pattern down,
Thanks, Bat.
I think he's going to be consistently getting to this wizard. And if he goes back to his safe strats that he had before,
sure. Spawn right in my hitbox again. Let's
where just take one hit, then block everything, hope he doesn't spawn in front of you, and then focus on blocking rather than killing. You've got all the time in the world to kill him.
Let's do that. That's great.
So not much in the way of health, but still a decent amount of health overall. It's more than enough to kill the Axe Knight.
Sure. Cool. Some troll dots.
Alright, so he needs to back to the left and give himself more room to work with. There he goes. I think he's figured out the pattern. Oh, 2 health! So close.
Okay. Yeah, great. Great, hooray.
I know I'm technically supposed to be impartial, because this is a race against just a bunch of people and I'm hosting it, but I really want No Diggity to have a solid victory over that Axe Knight, because he has had some bad luck in the past races.
Get out of my hitbox.
With Holy Diver, he was ahead of several of the other racers, and he got stuck on one room for the longest time, and he ran out of lives right after he passed that room. Normally, the other players would take a death, refill their magic in Holy Diver, and then they would use that to get to the boss and through the rest of it. No Diggity didn't have any other lives, so he wasn't able to do that, which made the rest of the game almost impossible to beat.
Ooh, I almost got that quick kill set up again. This guy's really, really getting on my nerves.
Get that health. So No Diggity has a strategy against the last boss. He was able to get there with enough health to where
Are you flippin' kidding me?
he could figure out a strategy. And you don't really need all that much health to beat the boss once you get it, but it's very difficult to do so when you don't have that strategy. Alright, so he needs to wait for the swing. This is very close. Unfortunately, it's RNG. Okay, not quite enough health, but he's going to get it. Alright, so only one hit so far. So now he's losing, I think, 4 blocks of health, which isn't that much. His EXP bar is almost full again. And he definitely has the Steel Knight down now. He's not having any trouble with this whatsoever. This was the huge roadblock, but now the only thing left is the final boss. And he got the quick kill on the red wizard. So he didn't get the bat health drops, but honestly it doesn't look like he needs it. He needs to do the crouch stab here against these guys. It seems weird, but when they jump, their hurt box is still on the ground. Alright, health is almost entirely full. Health is full. Experience bar almost entirely full. This is the most health he's ever had here. He could actually just trade hits and win here, but you should probably try to not do that just in case he gets bad RNG.
Come on! Come on!
Ah. Almost a perfect run there.
I don't know what else to do here. I legit do not know what else to do.
So he was one hit away from killing him. This is going to happen very soon, I think. I'm not sure if raising your level means you deal more damage, but it looks like he's dealing extra damage to this Steel Knight now. I'm not entirely sure.
Come on. Die already.
And he needs every health drop he can get. He's very regularly getting this quick kill now. You unfortunately do not get the health drop when you do the quick kill. That is one downside. Took a hit from the bat, but it doesn't matter. He got the health drop. There he goes.
It's the ducking that's killing me. Come on!
There you go. Just wait for the attack. Just gotta change your timing just a little bit. So close.
Hi. Sorry. Yep, I'm still racing. Hour and 20 minutes into it, still racing. So, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Come on. This is a really crappy attempt here. I'm just gonna throw this one in here. Whoa! What? Apparently you gifted. Speedrun hype. Is that a bot? I'm guessing. Oh, come on, get out of there. That's true. Never mind. Thank you very much for the gift sub. And Speedrun Hype, enjoy the inappropriate Segway nights. Their use are infinite and in both usefulness and number. I much prefer the quick strat on this guy. Whoa! Thank you so much for the 100 bits, Rachel. See, there's my double KO there. I did that once earlier too. Wow, it's a gift sub train here. Herzog, thank you very much for the gift sub to Moon Q's. Really want to finish this up. But I can't really do that when he lands under me when I jump. That doesn't help either.
So this is really going to come down to No Diggity either having enough health
results because you're waiting on my sorry butt
to brute force it.
Oh, come on! All right.
Or to find a strategy against the final boss.
Here. Hello, Bats. How's it going?
So he's not going to have enough
Welcome to the party.
health to do this now, but he can use his time. No,
What's gonna happen?
already dead. But I was going to say he could use his time to try to learn the pattern.
I gotta get the quick kill on the magician dude.
So if he does the overhead swing on this dragon guy and ducks afterwards, he will actually take no damage, as long as he doesn't swing his sword, because his low attack will block that fire.
Worst possible pattern.
EXP bar again filling up.
See if we can get this quick thing going.
Alright, he's figured out the quick kill, so now as long as he's in the right space, he's going to get that.
I like that strat a lot better now.
Not that much health going into the boss, though. Took a little too much damage from the lizards. Yeah, if you crouch attack against these guys, you actually can't take any damage from them, even if they do their jump attack.
Really? Really, buddy? Thanks.
It's weird because you would think that the overhead strike would be the thing to do it. Unfortunately, not enough. So he needs to wait for the swing and jump over that. He's got to slow down. Okay, he's starting to figure it out now. So he died there, but he took a half his health with virtually no health of his own.
Get there with the full health like we did before. And am I gonna max out my HP bar like all the way across the screen?
So if he can get the quick kill after this Steel Knight fight.
There's Robocop. Just gonna keep to the right side of the screen. So we can do this.
Alright, he's got the fast kill on the Red Wizard again.
That is a confirmed strat.
Now he's just got to move to the left. Once he kills this guy.
No, no, no. You're not doing that to me. Thank you.
Those lizards actually do a significant amount of damage too.
Drop some. Okay, here we go.
Alright, here comes the boss. Move to the left. Wait for the attack, jump over, and hit him overhead. Wrong way jump. Three health left. 1 health left. Yes!
That's a dot done.
Congratulations to No Diggity.
That's it.
This is the first time he was able to finish a Learn Fast race, and this was one of the most difficult.
Whoa! An anonymous gifter gifted a tier 1 sub to Jovelius. Rachel, thank you for the 100 bits. Cheer as well. And another 100 bits. Wow.
We are all incredibly proud of No Diggity because this was very difficult
Thank you for the GGs.
to go through, and he's had some trouble with the past games, and this was probably the most
Congrats.
difficult of
Much
all the previous
appreciated.
games. And he sat down
Rachel,
for
thank you for the another 100 bits.
hour and a half, and he was able to go through this.
Thank you, Mooncues. Herzog.
Spam
Gifting a
lots
2-1 sub to Rachel.
of GGs in chat.
Well, it's more than I deserved, I'll tell you that. Oh. Yay. Yay, we did it. There, now you guys can hear it too. Oh my gosh, Herzog gifting a sub to Stevie Steven. Thank you so much.
Getting some drop frames here.
We did it. We did it. So, the big question, Overswarm. Did anybody else figure out that little, or did anybody else know that that wonderful little quick kill strat on the mage dude?
Nope. You were the first to discover it
Because it felt kind of cool.
in the race.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Oh, that was fun.
Congratulations to Mooncues for
Terrifying.
beating this in less than 5 minutes, which is incredibly fast after only an hour of practice. And congratulations to all the other runners, and especially No Diggity,
Yeah, I was
because he has had such a difficult time with that last section of the stage.
Up/attack a little bit better.
But
That would have.
he stuck with it. That is perseverance in a nutshell.
Was off there.
So that is the end of the race.
Yeah,
We do this
it was
every
fun.
Sunday.
What can I
If
say?
you're interested in joining, type !learn fast
You know what we should do? We should play some Holy Diver, right?
and join the Discord. And on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on
What
this
should we
channel,
play? What shall
we
play?
will release the next game. And next week is going to be an easier game that requires a little bit more routing.
You don't like Holy
So
Diver?
more decision making. It's less about doing a perfect strategy and
You
more
don't
about
like Holy
deciding
Diver?
what can you
Everybody
do
loves Holy Diver.
with the time that you have. There's no limit on entrance and no entry fee.
What shall we do?
So I highly recommend you join.
Uh,
Go ahead.
let's do.